Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme here, the God. And man, in this chapter, I'm not really going to review it because I mainly want to focus on Jake, my favorite Lookism character. If you didn't know, you crazy. If you watch any of my videos, I always big up Jake. And this is one of the reasons why I have him ranked high in strength. A lot of people don't really see it, but he doesn't really lose. Minus against Gun. He hasn't lost a fight. Like, and that one time against um Samuel. But Samuel beat everybody that fight. You know what I'm saying? Samuel beat everybody that fight. So that's, it's whatever. But he don't really be losing. You know what I'm saying? He let himself, he didn't even lose against the Zhang guy. Like he literally just let himself fall in order for your man. I still don't know why. I think that was bad decision. I'm not going to lie to you. But in this chapter, we learned just how important his dad was. We knew that he was the leader of the gun, the hand fist, the hand gun, whatever. The leader of the Zero Generation. He was the leader, and we know that Chairman Choi was his right hand man. We know that for a fact. You know what I'm saying? And we know that all the others, the zeros, were around that time. Now, all we had known at the time was that James Lee had killed Jake's dad. That's all we knew. We didn't know why. We didn't know how. We didn't really fully understand the situation. That's one of the reasons, and Jake went to Mr. Choi and asked him for help at some point, right? But now we come to discover that Mr. Choi was the one that sent James Lee to kill him. And he's been the one covering him up all this time. Now, we knew he was covering up for something that he did, but we didn't realize. I don't think we put it all together. So James Lee killed somebody. That's all we kind of knew. And and Mr. Choi held James Lee's weakness. And we didn't know that weakness, exactly what it was. We just knew that he did some shit. And Mr. Choi has been covering it up. What we found out is he killed the Generation Zero's head, Jake's dad. So does that mean, now people say, James Lee was taught everything by Mr. Choi. I don't quite agree with that because James Lee joined Mr. Choi quite early. And I think Mr. Choi saw the potential he had. Now, we know that Mr. Choi wasn't stronger than Jake's dad. So there's a reason why he sent James Lee. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking Jake's dad being an honorable thief, as you may, or an honorable gangster. I think that what he decided to do was let James Lee kill him because he didn't want to kill a kid. You know what I'm saying? I think there was some kind of situation there that he decided it's better for me to die than to do this thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think James Lee outright just beat him. Now, some people think that, and that could be 100% true. I don't think that. Now, this only proves one thing, and that is Jake's importance to the story. Jake's important to the whole narrative. He's the person that's supposed to be in charge of his generation, right? He's supposed to be the leader of the new generation, right? Not Daniel Park, not Johan, not Eli, not Samuel. Jake is, because it's his right. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why Jerry follows him and he's a shield, right? So I think Jake has a much bigger role. Obviously, Daniel is the protagonist, so the story's still going to be led by him. But I think it might be like a weak hero type situation where even though, the main character, Gray, is the lead character, Big Ben is like the catalyst or the person that's, is written to almost be the hero. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, really interesting here. And I'm really excited to see what happens here. I think that now I'm just saying that by birthright or whatever, that he's supposed to be the leader of the new generation, since all the main characters essentially, or some of the most important key players' parents, most important key players, all worked under, especially the other guys, all worked under Jake's dad. You know what I'm saying? And all of them are seeking vengeance against Mr. Choi because he betrayed the team. So he must have obviously, I think he probably even used Jake as a bargaining tool. Like, Jake dies and your wife dies if you don't lose to James Lee. There definitely was something Mr. Choi did. Excuse me. And he pulls up in this chapter ready to murk, and he was one of the elites, as they call him, which is what the old man says, which obviously means that he's insanely powerful, like on some James Lee near Gun type levels. You know what I'm saying? I still think Gun is stronger than him. People in the comments were saying that he's not, and that and shit like that. And I'm like, y'all, have y'all seen Gun, bro? Like, have y'all seen that man fight, bro? Like, he's never even really going all out either, bro. You know what I'm saying? He fought Awakened Daniel, bro, and he was the one standing at the end of it. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? So you all gotta think how strong that dude is, man. That dude will smoke these Zero Generation guys, bro. Freaking Goo was ready to face Tom and Mr. Choi right there on site by himself. Apparently, Tom doesn't know the secret, and he would turn on him if he did. So I'm not sure why he doesn't know, because I think he's also from Zero Generation, but he just doesn't know what's happening. But I think it's from Zero Generation. But yeah, so that's what I think. And I think Jake's role is going to be very, very important. I think that's why he's got so much narrative sway. Because if you think way, way back when he was still in jail, he was already had a massive impact in the story. When he was in jail, boy had a massive impact in the story. You know what I'm saying? And he spent a lot of the story in jail. Once he came out of jail, a lot of the narrative had something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Him, Eli, and Samuel were all trained under Gun. Well, sorry, he actually wasn't trained under Gun, right? I don't think Gun accepted Jake. No, he didn't accept Samuel. Did he? I think he accepted Jake. Did he accept Jake? I can't remember. I'm not gonna lie to you. I read too many different things. I'm sorry, guys. Somebody put that shit in the comment for me, please. I'm not like a thesaurus or a Wikipedia like some people are. I am when it comes to maybe Naruto, and that's about it. That's really about it. And even then, I'm not like a great Wikipedia for that. But that's what I think. I think Jake is going to play a pivotal role here. Zach Lee's like importance to the story has like been pushed way, way back. Same as Vasco's. Same as most of Daniel's immediate friends. Do you know what I'm saying? I think currently Jake, Daniel, and who else is really important? Jake, Daniel, Eli has been pretty important. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of characters that have been more prevalent to the narrative, and this is important, to the narrative, than Daniel's immediate friends. But I'm just super excited to see what happens next. I'm very, very excited. It should be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. And you should too, because I think the next few chapters are going to be game changers. If it's anything near the level of what Boruto just shipped, man, god damn, boy, some 10 out of 10 shit right there. But this chapter was sensational. I mean, the start of it was boring, but it needed to be in order for us to learn the key information. We don't know why Daniel's dad has his other body and he has Johan and stuff, but I think he had something to do with the double bodies. And I think, I don't know, I think that anybody that has the double body is being controlled by James Choi. I'm not really sure. I don't want to like guess too much on the double body thing because it's such a weird mystery. It doesn't fit with the rest of the world and the narrative. You know what I mean? Because there's no like, we only know two people, Crystal, confirmed. Crystal and Daniel. That's it, right? People assume Mr. Choi's one, but it doesn't really seem like it because he looks this. I mean, I suppose they all kind of look the same, but I'm not really sure where that comes from. So that's really interesting. So I think this is the incentive. I think when Daniel learns what he learns, it will be the incentive for him and Jake to team up again, which they teamed up before, but I think they'll team up again. And I think them two will probably play the most important role. Now, we know that Zach's narrative basically ends once he saves Johan. So we know that Zach is going to be the one to defeat Johan, right? Narratively speaking, he kind of has to be that way. That's why you set it up that way, right? So Zach is going to be stronger than Johan, even though Johan has way more potential and is stronger and stuff. Maybe it's going to be do with his blindness or whatever, whatever. I think it might not to have anything to do with it. I think the doctor might actually cure Johan's blindness. Hear me out, because I don't think it's quite as crazy as people think it is, right? Yeah. So that's what I think. So I think that he might cure Johan's blindness, right? And the doctor could be Daniel's dad or Daniel's enemy. We're not really sure, because we know that Daniel's dad, adopted dad, is dead. But this guy is his blood relative, so it has to be his dad, right? So his real dad. I think it's probably curing it's probably curing Johan, and I think it's going to destroy Daniel's other body, because I think that Daniel's other body was eventually going to be Mr. Choi or something like that, right? That's what I think is happening here. But that's just me throwing out guesses here, or is going to try to destroy it. I'm not really 100% sure. But I think Daniel's body is actually going to end up being the final villain in the story. And I think Daniel is going to have to surpass that. And I think that's what wins. So Daniel's enemy is going to be his other body, because that's the perfect body, right? And I think, Zach's final opponent is going to be Johan to save him. And I think, Johan might just join them, but it'd be better if they fight. Then I think Jake's final opponent is going to be Chairman Choi himself. So I think they all have, I think narratively speaking, that's what makes the most sense. And then people like James Lee. I mean, James Lee could also be Jake's final opponent, to be honest. So Jake has a few. Jake probably has the most options in terms of like people that narratively impact him, right? So I'm really, really excited and interested to see what happens next. What you guys think about Jake's importance in the story? Now, do you guys see why I've been hyping him up for all this freaking time? Been making these videos about him, talking about him. He's so relevant to the story. Like, he really matters, and we know now why. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, I mean, we knew that Chairman worked under him, but we didn't really see it as that. I don't know, we didn't really connect it like that. So now that we know everything, I can't wait. Anyways, it's been your boy Supreme Uchiha the God. I'm watching this Kamaru Usman versus fucking Leon Edwards. Come on, Usman. All right, I'm out. Subscribe, by the way. Like, and all that.